Hello, this is Jacob again, and I just wanted to tell you about the top 5 worst movies I've ever seen. There are quite a lot of movies out there that I like, and some that I even favor. There aren't that many movies that I can say that I don't like. Other movies that I wouldn't say that I like or favor, I can just say they're okay, but luckily the number of movies that I don't like is just 5 of them. Now, let's talk about the top 5 worst movies I've ever seen. Number 5, Norbit. I'm not going to show you a picture of Norbit because my channel's meant to be G-rated, and I wouldn't exactly call the DVD cover G-rated. All I can really say about Norbit is that it's not my thing. Not really sure what to enjoy about it. For the next entry, I am fully aware that it is considered a classic and that a lot of people really like it. A majority of people who have seen this movie like it. I am in the minority of people who don't like it. Number 4, The Grapes of Wrath. It was just boring. I mean, I remember when I first saw it that I slept through a little bit of it. I mean, I don't understand what there is to like about it. I mean, the main character's family gets cheated out of their farm, the Great Depression starts, both of the grandparents dying, and they come across several other mishaps. I'm sorry, I just don't like it. I don't find any of that interesting. I just found it boring. Number 3, The Blob, the original 1958 version. Now, normally I like monster movies. I also like some of the old ones, like King Kong and It Came From Beneath the Sea. But The Blob, oh boy, this wasn't that good at all. I mean, sure, this is one of those few alien monsters, but it's also really boring. I mean, all you see is a pile of jelly rolling around, killing people off screen, and that's it. It doesn't have a body or a form, it doesn't have a face, and it doesn't make any monster sounds, so it's not like when the deaths happen on there. Most of them are off screen. And whenever I watch a monster movie, normally the most interesting part of the movie is the monster, but since the Blob itself is a really boring monster, the rest of the movie is also boring. So, I don't like the Blob. Number 2, Dance Flick. If there's one movie that is really mean-spirited, pretty much to the core, it's Dance Flick. And I'm fully aware that this movie is supposed to be a spoof of dance movies, but like I said, it's mean-spirited. For example, the main character, played by Shoshana Bush, I really don't remember her name, has a flashback on how her mom died. Basically, she gets in a car wreck, and she can't get out of the car, and then some other people just ignore her and try to put out a fire that was set off in the wreck for this on this other truck. And it looks like a police officer is about to save her from the truck and get her out of the car, when really he just grabs the thing of water, I think it was. She manages to get out, and then she gets hit by a car. She's luckily unharmed. And then she gets hit by another car, and she falls into a grave that's already been dug for her. Sorry, I don't really find that funny. It's just funny thinking about how stupid that is and how mean-spirited that is. And there are things that just ruin the movie for me. And the number 1 worst movie I've ever seen is the Super Mario Brothers movie. Yeah, this is definitely one of the biggest disappointments in the history of anything fictional. I mean, the plot of the movie has nothing to do with the games whatsoever. And there are so many things that are inaccurate about this movie. I mean, the Goombas don't even look like Goombas. Yoshi is not supposed to be, I don't know, he's like a velociraptor or something. At least he has kind of a long tongue like he did in the games. And Bowser is a human who evolved from a T-Rex instead of a Koopa. I am in the majority of people who found this movie disappointing, and even the actors Bob Hoskins and Dennis Hopper, who were in the movie, were even quoted as to saying that they thought that while working on the movies, they thought it was a nightmare. So yeah, the Super Mario Bros. Movie is the worst movie I've ever seen. Now, there are movies that could possibly even be worse than the Super Mario Bros. Movie I haven't seen, and I intend to avoid them, such as The Room, Battlefield Earth, or even what almost everyone considers to be the worst movie ever made, the Garbage Pail Kids movie. I don't want to see any other of those bad movies, and the movies I listed here are the worst movies I've ever seen, and I intend to keep it that way. So, if you've seen any of these movies, tell me what you thought. Which of these movies do you also dislike, or even like? I mean, I'm not really sure of how many other people besides myself don't like The Grapes of Wrath. And by no means do I hate any of these movies, I just dislike them. There's no movie that I hate. I mean, besides my buddy Lucas, I don't know who else likes the Super Mario Bros. Movie, but I'd like to know what you think. Or what's the worst movie you've ever seen? I'd like to know in the comments. Anyway, this is Jacob, signing off.